All right. Greetings and welcome to the table in the tavern. My name is Patrick, aka Leon Jenkins, and tonight we're going to be playing some Marvel 616. Um, and because we're doing an RPG, okay, and which requires players, I brought along some friends. I'd like to go around the virtual table and go ahead and introduce everyone now. Okay. So first off, we have Brian. Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little about the character you're going to be playing tonight?
Hey, my name's Brian. I work over at a Quaker with Damien, and used to be Patrick, and I'll be playing Cisco, also known as the Cyclone, and he's able to control the weather. He gained his powers through a meteorite strike back in the Himalayas. He's been traveling with this group of other mutants growing to become X-Men.
Indeed, you have. Thank you for that. Continuing on, looks like we have Damon up next.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Damon. I go by GMDad88 on most platforms. I've been playing role-playing games for many years, but this Marvel game caught my eye and really been enjoying it. Really enjoying the getting school rules from the X-Men expansion book. It's been pretty fun. My character is Lee Bruceman Jr., a little guy from like a little taekwondo class. Right around his puberty age, his powers were activated in a traumatic event, and he discovered that he had the ability to phase, very similar to Kitty Pryde or Shadowcat from the X-Men. But not trying to be a one-to-one copy of that character. My character is like more of a martial artist, very similar to like Iron Fist. Only he can create little phantom limbs with his phasing ability and stuff. So been a fun build so far. Very interested to see where he goes.
Indeed, me too. Gonna drop some character art for your guys' characters into the doohickey. Just so everyone can see who we're talking about here, I guess. God. All right. So, next up we have Cody. So, Cody says, hello, I'm Cody. I've been playing TTRPGs for 11 years. Tonight I'm playing John Peters, aka the Green Knight. A little new to the hero game and still figuring out his powers, making this school a good place to be. So, can anyone help me out with the next part? You see, we like to go ahead and do a little recap. The things we've done in previous weeks. And I like the players to do that. It helps to keep them involved and sometimes helps me to identify things that I may have let fall through the cracks in my prep work. The things that they're most interested in. Because after all, the game is about the players. Yeah. Anyway. So, with that, does anyone have any thing they'd like to help us out with the recap? It had to do with like Jessica Jones, you guys doing all investigations and so forth. Most of it revolved around a character that's not here tonight, and I realize that. But please, if anyone has anything, go ahead. I'm gonna get down on some Sour Patch Kids.
I believe our companion Mayhem had gotten some information from Jessica Jones that we may have found her sister or his sister. Going to that location, we ended up finding like a key card or an ID card from a gal, which led us to the next gen facility. There we ended up kind of sneaking in, pretending to be, interested in science and stuff like that, and we got to be witness to this presentation from Nathaniel Essex and his scientists, and we discovered that there was a few like nefarious individuals in the crowd as well, kind of also watching this display that Nathaniel was putting on, kind of trying to bolster his kind of prowess in the science community by presenting these mutant creatures that he's kind of been working on, trying to impress
And we
everyone.
were also asking him about, in the process of his presentation, we were asking him a bunch of questions about his project, like how has he been able to do this, get this far in his projects, what does he plan to do if he succeeds, like go worldwide, keep it for himself, create an army.
Indeed.
And then after that, I'm pretty sure he offered to make a tour for some of the higher class scientists that were there to go out back. And we decided to tail them. And we got to the basement level, I'm pretty sure it was. And we happened to find Mayhem's sister in a test tube, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and that's about where we ended the session, if I recall. So, with that, you guys ended up discovering that, I believe, I'm having trouble remembering the sister's name. Either way, so Chris's character's sister, which his name is, I believe, Jason Winters. So it's definitely Winters. Okay, I know that much. But it's not a normal name. I remember that. Which doesn't really help. Either way, discover that she's there. Okay, you guys have a couple of options. Okay, you guys can try to make a scene about that right there, or you guys can wait for an opportunity to do something about it, or just go ahead and take the evidence that you have to S.H.I.E.L.D., as was kind of talked about. S.H.I.E.L.D. had asked this is all about you guys gathering information, and then they can go and do all that. We have a message here. Okay, helped Sam Wilson and S.H.I.E.L.D. infiltrate a lab, found Mayhem's sister, going undercover, learned criminal underworld representatives there, and got as much info as we could. Bruceman left to get into S.H.I.E.L.D., give info to S.H.I.E.L.D., so may get reinforcements. Very apt, yes. So, yes, you're absolutely right. At the end of that, Lee did kind of, after obtaining the information from the computer, downloaded it to a thumb drive, and kind of disappeared. So, question now is to the players. We've got Lee, okay, with said files. What is your plan there, Lee? What are you wanting to do with that thumb drive?
I think we had discussed to give it to either Phil Coulson or Sam Wilson, Captain America, because it was kind of like part of his op to get us in here and stuff like that. So get him the intel, because I'm not sure if we have the full might of the X-Men just yet.
Right. Okay. Get some reinforcements and so forth. All right. So yeah, you leave. Let's say, just start making your way out of the facility. And I'm gonna pause that right there, Lee, and we're gonna come over to the party and find out what they're doing. Okay. Before we continue.
Right on.
Okay. So you guys left with Lee Bruceman. Lee Bruceman ends up leaving with the files, as you have said. Okay. You guys are left there with Nathaniel Essex and these other people that have asked to see some of the behind the scenes. He finishes up with this whole presentation thing going on there. Okay. And then begins to continue the tour, making his way back out of the facility, back into the main hall. Okay, I'm not going to utilize Roll20 this evening because not really planning on doing anything with it this evening. But if it ends up getting to the point that we need to go ahead and utilize that, then I will go and pull that up. Okay, but at this point in time, he's busy doing whatever. Okay, I'd like to figure out what your guys' stealth is if you guys just wanted to linger behind. Okay, and the way that we're going to determine stealth is it's your agility score that determines that. Okay. So your natural stealth is a 10. And then based on your modifier, okay, it either goes up or down. If you guys just wanted to kind of hang out, while he continues making his way back. That is an option. Otherwise, you guys could just follow the group. I'll leave that up to you guys as far as what you guys are doing next. And you are muted, Brian? Oh, wait, no, you're not. I was looking up. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I look up and I see Cody's and I see he was muted. My fault. He's always muted, though.
I was muted, but not anymore. Yeah.
Looks like Cody's got a response coming.
Mm-hmm.
10 stealth, so you really don't have a bonus. Okay. What about you there, Brian? Do you have a bonus for your stealth?
No.
Okay. Well, that's probably not going to be a very viable option. So, let's say you guys do kind of linger, and then Nathaniel looks back over and says, "Well, are you coming?"
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. So he insists that you guys follow him. Mayhem, we'll say, reluctantly looks at the rest of the party and says, under his breath, first opportunity to get away, I think we probably could come down here and get my sister, kind of thing. I don't really know what Mayhem's. I don't think Mayhem has that much better of an agility either. We're gonna say at this point in time he's unable to do the stealth thing either. So you guys all end up leaving the room. Okay, following the group out, as you had said there, Cody. And making your way back to the main hall. Of course, you don't see Lee. Lee, you've already left the facility. Said your goodbyes to the guys out front, and like, all right, I'm out. Out of the bounty. And so you end up disappearing and try to go to your rendezvous where you're going to end up coming by Agent Coulson. Okay. So when you end up, you end up making your way to said rendezvous. Okay. And Agent Coulson and members of S.H.I.E.L.D. are present, of course, all with little devices that are open, that seem to be listening in, utilizing you guys. You can hear the very conversations of Nathaniel Essex still carrying on about this, that, and the other to the group as he guides them through this facility. Agent Coulson looks to you and says, "Great job. You did I see that the rest of your guys are still there. Did you manage to obtain anything or whatever he asked you?"
I'm going to say yeah, and pull the little hard drive or flash drive. There we go. Flash drive out of my hoodie pocket and hand it to him. But say that Mayhem's sister, I think he called her Jealousy.
Jealousy, that's exactly it. Yes, Jealousy winners.
All right. But she was still there, but like in some kind of weird tube, and we're pretty sure that place is going to be heavily guarded because of like the bizarreness of what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of like still there, kind of keeping tabs, and then I'm here to give you guys this information and possibly get some backup.
Okay. He looks over his shoulder at the monitor, and looking back to the group and says, "Well, I'm concerned that our good friend Mayhem may live up to his name if he remains there, as he may end up trying to free his sister on his own."
Yeah, that's what we're worried about.
I highly recommend that you do your best to talk your friend down. Let the professionals do their job, and his sister will find freedom in due time. He says, "I urge you to make your way back and speak to your party, or speak to your friends." Okay? He once again thanks you for all of your work. He says, "I know you are glad to get out of that facility and out of dangerous way, but now I'm asking you to go back in. Can you do this for me, soldier?"
Yeah.
Okay. He toughs up your hair a little bit, because you're like a short kind of kid. Says, "All right, get out of here, kid."
All right.
The doors close and whatever, and we'll say that you're like in. It's like an apartment building, but it's all been it's all condemned, ready to be torn down, and they're occupying one of these rooms in there. And so you're in this an empty apartment building. The only thing that's in there besides you are cats and cockroaches.
Right on. Yeah, something nondescript. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right on.
So,
I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna run back to the team and help them out. Just get back to the team as fast as I can. I'm like, are we close enough that I can just run back, or do I need to run?
Yeah, you head back without too much trouble. It's not in extremely desolate area, but it's just outside of outside everything. So it's within a quarter mile of like this apartment, which is able to allow his surveillance equipment to still pick you guys up as you guys are carrying them. You didn't even know you guys were bugged, but somehow you don't even know how he's getting those images and how he's getting those microphones, but you can see that it's all from like the different various perspectives of your group, as if that they planted something on you and you didn't even know. Like while you were in the facility, there was like one monitor that if you looked at, you actually saw where you were, and it's like wild, like just a slight lag. Like there might be a 30-second lag between that and what's going on. Okay. So that's just things for you to be, just figured you should know, that kind of thing. Like if you say something, it's not gonna be instantaneous, but there's gonna be a little bit of lag, not much.
Cool.
All right. So you end up making your way back, and the group is still sitting there listening to Nathaniel Essex defending his work to those that are scrutinizing it, and it seems like he has more people interested than disinterested at this point in time. As some of the major players have broken up and left things be, your group is still among those that remain, asking Nathaniel questions and looking at different. Looking at the actual mutant that they brought out, asking him to do various little tasks, like pick up these weights and solve this little puzzle and stuff like that. And people are doing like time trials and stuff like that with him to see how quick his cognitive thinking is and stuff like that. Yes, above average, of course, that kind of thing. All those little weird things as you come in. So you guys all see Lee re-enter into the facility. Okay.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
While sneaking back in, is there like a pen or a marker around that I could gank?
Okay. Pen or okay, something of next gen.
I just need a writing utensil that could write on skin.
Got you. Go ahead and roll me a vigilance.
Right on. All twos. So that'll be a whopping 7.
7. Okay. So you don't notice anything right around like that you could write on skin with. Not exactly. You have a little difficulty with discovering anything, as you've already passed by like the receptionist area, and she didn't have anything out, that kind of thing. So it's up to you if you want to leave that as that, or you want to go ask her for a pen. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
But you don't see anything now.
Right on.
All right. What about you guys seeing Lee re-enter? You see him curiously looking at the receptionist just through, like, let's say, like those double doors, and they're like glass double doors, and he's just outside of the room that you guys are in the lobby. Okay, you can see that he's returned.
I guess I'll walk over to Lee and just, hey, what's up, man?
Right on. I'm gonna tell Cisco or Cyclone here that I gave the flash drive to the agent Coulson guy. I gave it over to him.
Sweet, man.
Right on.
Nice to know we can count on you.
Yeah. I'm gonna say he's watching us all on cameras.
All right then. I'm gonna say that at a whisper. Tell me.
Mayhem says you mean. We'll say Mayhem ends up making his way as well as he sees you return. It says you mean he can hear and see everything right now.
I'm all right. I have the trait image list, so I cast no reflection, and my image cannot be captured by cameras.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have it like it's due to my phasing ability or whatever. So I'm going to say no, I don't think so, but I'm definitely nodding yes.
Oh, okay.
I also have that tag image list.
He
Nice.
says great. Then he must know that they've got my sister trapped down there. I kind of want to know what they plan on doing about it.
He I'm gonna tell him. He said we should totally go for it.
Totally go for it. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm a
I'm
12-year-old kid.
over at Lee, give me a little fist bump and just go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Right.
Okay. That's exact opposite of what I thought. Okay.
Give Lee a
That's
fist
funny. I
bump
like
and
it.
just go. Let's do it.
To you, like just what would Wolverine do right now?
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay.
Put his cigar out on his arm. Just let's go.
All right. Um.
We
So
just need to get his sister out, right? But like, was there a bunch of people in that room, or was it just his sister?
I don't think anybody was in that room. I'm pretty sure it was just his sister in that too.
Oh, okay.
I think.
All right. All right. I don't have phase other yet, so I can't like phase in and grab her and phase out, which would be like the easiest way to get her out. But I don't have that ability yet. So we might have to break some stuff.
I mean, I got hit and run, but like Damien said, we might have to break some stuff. We'll try and crack the glass and shit, but you never know, an alarm can go off when we're surrounded. That's what I'm afraid of.
Right. Green Knight, do you have any ideas there? Like my powers kind of aren't. I'm not astute enough. Like I still need more training and stuff from the X-Men in the school to kind of like hone my phasing abilities. So I'm kind of limited. Jessica Jones is still here.
Right.
I don't know if she's got like an earpiece to Coulson, and Coulson's just like, that kid is lying his ass off.
I mean, I got an idea, but it's a little risky.
Right.
I have the ability of disguise. I mean, I can disguise myself as one of the higher class scientists, but before then, I could try and swipe one of their ID badges, security cards to get us in, and I can try and shut down any alarms if there are any, and we don't have to take any chances and whatnot. We can just get on in there with no worries. That's the safest bet that I can come up with at the minute.
All right. That might be a way to go.
Yeah, but it's a little risky at the same time. That's all I got.
Okay. Green Knight, what do you think?
Yeah.
He says he's weaponless at the moment except some strength. So we may need some help.
He's typing.
So you do
on
have,
that.
we'll say you still have the Black Knight there, and we'll say Jessica Jones is still with you as well. Okay.
Might just end up being a smash and grab situation.
Okay.
I mean, if we can get by with that, with like no questions, maybe we can just get her out. Like, just straight up open it. Like in a friggin' door. And then walk out the back, with no questions. Or nobody seeing us. That'd be a better way to put it than no questions.
Okay. Speaking of which, uh, Jessica Jones is there, technically,
All
as
right.
well as the Black Knight.
All
I
right.
got they got any generators outside the building, I can try and shut those down to cut down the power as well. I can also do that.
Right. Yeah, Black Knight's got, or Green Knight's got bolts of Balthak or something like that.
But it's cataract, I think.
It's one of those weird Doctor Strange words.
Yeah, I think it's
uh,
cataract.
right, something
I
like
had
that.
it
But anyway,
on Silas. When I was using Silas, I had that move.
right on. All right, so there's got to be like a power outlet on the wall or something somewhere in this room, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay, power outlet.
All right. So what if we just shock the shit out of that, cause the power to like flicker? I don't know. I'm sure they got super powerful like backup generators and stuff. It's like a super high tech facility and stuff. But maybe we can get it to flicker long enough that
To get it
everyone
out.
with everybody with super strength and stuff can rip that thing up, or crack open the lid or something, to where it's not going to trigger some kind of alarms. My little kid mind is probably just playing through like every action movie he's ever seen, trying to think of some idea.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
What do the adults think?
What do the adults think, he says. Well, this adult here, I can tell you this, his child mind never grew up.
So the
Black Knight and Jessica Jones, like,
yeah.
are they down to rip this thing up out, or try to crack the seal?
He says they say that there is says of course they're with you. Of course they're with you. However, perhaps I could offer a couple of different options. One, we could actually let Shield deal with this like they said they would. Of course, I see that you guys aren't keen with that. Okay, Jessica says. Maybe your friend here, looking at the Black Knight, has some way that he can help. He looks at you guys and says, "Well, yeah, I think maybe I can. However, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should interfere here in that way or not. After all, I was told to help you guys stay out of trouble. Okay, and here we are discussing getting into trouble.
I'm going to say we're not getting into trouble. We're liberating our friend here's sister from trouble.
And putting
So
yourselves in harm's way in the process. So yeah. Now one thing I've always come to know is that you can always rely on your friend. Okay? And so with that, I am with you. Okay, of course. But being that friends and the allies that you've grown over the time that whatever you being at school, is there anyone that you think could help you if you could reach out to them?
Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler can just teleport in and then teleport out.
The only connections I have is Black Widow and Bucky.
Well,
Okay.
Jessica
I didn't want to
can
say
call.
that. I didn't want to say that. Just like be like, you could do that, but yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I'm
We
gonna
wanna
tell
go-
Jessica to check. Oh, go ahead.
Like, if we want to go in head on, I think we should do either Black Widow and Bucky as well.
Okay, but yeah, that's true. That's true. You have that Black Widow and Bucky in your backstory. But I have to agree with them. Nightcrawler is a pretty good answer here.
It is true.
Like his abilities are pretty well suited for this sort of thing. There also comes the question, guys. We don't know what they've been doing to her, or how to. What if she's reliant upon the very technology that has her imprisoned? That's the question. But yeah, aside from that, this is just an option. May be useful for that. Okay. So, do you guys want to make a couple phone calls, or you guys want to go ahead and light it up? Either way, we're with you. Okay. But you guys have options on the table. But you guys are all muted. It's your guys' decision what you guys want to do.
Looks like Cody's typing.
I think Beast and Nightcrawler would probably be our best bet. Beast to analyze this little tube that she's in, and if we are able to get her out, have Nightcrawler for that.
I'll go smoke a cigarette while we're working this out, pardon me. Okay. So Cody said, I'd say make some phone calls, but I'll follow the group. I don't know if anyone else would contribute anything else while I was switching devices here.
I mean, Jessica can call Iron Fist. Iron Fist was hanging out with Nightcrawler last we saw. Maybe he's got the connection, so we don't have to directly go through our resources. We don't have to like call Professor X and be like, "Could you give us Nightcrawler's number?" Like
right. Yeah, you have
like, yeah, some shit's going on. So just kind of backdoor it. The information. Hey, text him to let him know to grab Beast and head this way. We may have a situation.
We'll see. Yeah, okay. That works. Okay. So Jessica Jones goes ahead and gives Rand a call, and you know how such things work, and within like 10 minutes of you guys placing that call, Kurt Wagner is on the other end of a phone talking to Jessica Jones. So he doesn't have your guys' location yet, but she's like, okay, sends him like whatever, an address picture, okay, and he goes ahead and next thing you know, he's there, okay, just outside the facility. He says, you guys will have to come outside to meet him. After all, he is not exactly willing to just waltz in through the front doors.
Cyclone, can you disguise other people, or is that just limited to just you?
Right now, it's limited to just me.
Right on. Dang, if we were just all just a tad stronger.
Okay. He says, maybe this is a good time to start. The Black Knight looks at John Peters, the Green Knight. He says, one of the many gifts that you have from Gaia is the ability to communicate with others. Okay, to empathize. Okay. He says, use your mind, okay, and become one with Kurt. And through his eyes, show him where your sister is. Oh, where Jealousy Winters is, not your sister. So, we're going to give this a try. I'm going to require a logic roll. You can receive assistance from your friends after all, you guys all went to school together. Maybe you could encourage him with some of the things that you learned. Not focusing or whatnot. Just doing something.
Whoa,
logical
for
on my test either.
Yeah. Yeah, Mayhem's the logic character.
Okay, so Mayhem, he kind of guides you through the process. Okay, reminding you to focus, to clear your mind, and just envision the the facility and when you're tour. So go ahead and roll if you haven't already, a logic check, and you can have edge from the tutelage of Mayhem.
That would be a 16 standard. Oh, nice. Cody got a 17, fantastic.
Okay.
Standard.
So yeah, you guys were Green Knight. You delving into some of the abilities of that comes with your badge of office, and open up a telepathic link with Kurt and amazingly your party. This is something you can utilize in the future. And you're able to visualize the facility, including where Jealousy Winners was. And Kurt, having now its knowledge of where Sister is, teleports back with jealousy. Okay. And then says, as she's there and she's wet. White collar's like wet, because whatever like little tube thing that she was in was also filled with some kind of fluid. She no longer has the whole breathing apparatus and so forth, and she starts, kind of convulsing, whatever, acting kind of strange. So quickly, remembering your guys' plan, grabs hold of Mayhem, Jason Winters, and grabs his arm, and Jason, Jealousy, and Nightcrawler teleport away, assumingly to the mansion, so that Hank McCoy and Jean Grey and whatever can administer aid. Okay? That all kind of happens pretty quick. Alright? So now it's just you guys. And no Mayhem any longer. And the Sister Jealousy is free, and they are together. That's good. All good things.
Awesome. I'm gonna look at the team and be like, it's time to get out of here.
All right. So yeah, you guys all end up leaving, and so where do you guys head? You guys head back to the area where Agent Coulson and Shield was, or are you gonna make your way back to the mansion? Maybe you're gonna talk Jessica Jones into taking you back to her little detective office or her neck of the woods, as she's like, I think that my work is done here. I think I'm going to take off, she says. It was good working with you all and all that good stuff. But what would you guys like to do next?
I'd say let's head back to the mansion, make sure Jealousy's okay, and see how Mayhem's been doing. All of
All right.
them's been doing.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So you do get with the evidence now in the hands of Shield, you feel the weight off your shoulders as agents quickly mobilize to take action based on your findings, promising that those responsible will face justice soon. You're not really reading back up with anyone, so I'm just gonna leave that pretty much there. But Agent Coulson will say ends up beeping on your transponder or on your phone. You hear him come through. He says, "Impressive work." He says, "I've been examining these documents closely. It's not everyday civilians. Every day that civilians step up like this, doing the hard groundwork to bring light such as to such dark corners. Thank you for your diligence and bravery. You've just saved countless lives."
Awesome.
And I think that someone else had something they wanted to say to you in that transponder, whatever it flashes and goes into Sam Wilson, Captain America. And it says, I heard about what you're doing. Not all heroes wear capes, or in my case, a uniform. He says with a light chuckle. Sometimes it's the courage to pursue the truth that makes the biggest difference. Thank you for your help. Keep watching out for the little guy, and know that we're always here if you need backup. Okay? And so with that, the transponder ends, and his words resonate with you as you step out of the cool air. The city around you, unaware of the crisis averted beneath the bustling streets. Today, you are more than just witnesses to the deeds of superheroes. You were the architects of justice. And as you walk away, a sense of accomplishment and a hint of anticipation for your next adventures linger in your steps. Okay? And so with that, you've concluded the little portion. Yay. Blah, blah, blah. So you guys make it back to the mansion. You guys have been made some new connections with Agent Coulson and, of course, Captain America himself.
Awesome.
As you come back to the mansion, it's not long before people start asking you about the girl. Who's the girl that showed up with Kurt and all like that? Took him down. You start hearing murmurs about some girl in the medical facility. Through the grapevine, you guys were able to ascertain that she's doing okay. She's stable and asleep, apparently, sedated, but stable. Okay. If you want to know more information, you're going to have to inquire. Okay. And with that, I hand it over to you guys. You guys make your way back to the mansion. Okay. Green Knight there with you. Okay.
Well, Mayhem's probably gonna go check on his sister first.
Okay. Yeah, so he's still he's down there with her, so he's not gonna really leave her side.
Bro. The gang, what they want to do now.
As you say something about training, the Black Knight says, yeah, let's do some training. He leads you to the library. You guys all follow him to the library, and he goes over to one of the chairs and says, "Do you still have that book?" You hand over the book. Okay. As the Black Knight places a gauntleted hand upon the book, its pages begin to glow. Softly at first, like sunbeams through leaves. But then, the symbols twist, vines unfurl across the paper, and you feel the air shift, like the breath of a forest awakening after centuries of slumber. A pulse echoing in your chest, not your heartbeat, the land's. The room around you fades. This is for all of you. Color drains from the stone and shadows alike. And then you stand at the edge of a world that feels more alive than anything you've ever known. Ancient Avalon, in its golden prime. The sky above is a tapestry of emerald clouds and drifting isles, where castles of moss and marble float amongst gray beasts that glide through the air like whales of wind and light. The earth beneath your feet breathes, verdant with towering trees stretch high and wide, their branches woven with glowing runes and silver fruit. Ethereal music hums through the canopy. The green chapel, in its earliest form, stands in the distance, grown, not built. But something's wrong. You hear it before you see it. The quiet. But I have something to help you with the visualization of what you see. Okay? Ancient Avalon.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna look at the rest of the group and just go, "This is astonishing."
One moment you're in a library, the next you're here.
Right?
But something's
Yeah.
wrong. Sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, your reactions are the most important part of all this. Please, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it looks way better than downtown Manhattan.
Indeed, JG trading skyscrapers for buildings made from the very trees that make up the land, which is pretty awesome. The very trees may stand like skyscrapers as well. The city broken up into different little castles and encampments on top of islands floating in the skies. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, there's definitely a big difference. The skyline's quite different.
Awesome.
Just imagine living in this in today's world.
Right. So yeah, but something's wrong. You hear it before you see it. the quiet, a silence, not of peace, but of absence.
Oh shit.
The song of the trees turns sour. Petals wither mid-bloom. Grass recoils from the invisible rot. The horizon, once gold and green, becomes tinged with gray. A shadow spills into the land, not cast, but emitted, like a wound in the world's skin. You see him, the Red Lord. He stands tall amongst the trees, his body faceless and draped in tattered robes of bleeding dusk. Around him the forest wilts and folds into ash. Trees bend and collapse without a sound. No cry of pain, no protest, just entropy. He does not speak, he does not reach, he simply is. And in his gaze sweeping over you, you feel your strength falter, your warmth dim, your hope drained. But then a hand on your shoulder.
I'm just gonna kind of look at the team and the Black Knight and be like, you know that guy?
But then a hand on your shoulder, still firm. The voice of the Black Knight cuts through the silence like thunder on the moors. But this is what you were chosen to face. This is what the Green Knight was made to stop. He steps forward, sword drawn, not in anger, but as one might drawn. One might draw a candle in the dark. And beside him, stepping from between the trees, another figure emerges. A Green Knight of old, cloaked in vines and crowned with antlers. His armor woven of bark and moonstone. He looks to you, John Peters, not with surprise, but with solemn certainty. So the circle begins again, he says. You are a seed, and he, the frost. But this time, the roots must grow deeper. The Green Knight, you know. Then the vision fades and you're returned once again to Avalon, green and brilliant, vibrant, young. Okay. You may explore Avalon, its beauty and its wounds. The Black Knight will walk with you, as will the echoes of those who came before. This is not a dream, this is a calling. So this gives you guys the opportunity to explore Ancient Avalon, if you so desire.
Yeah, I'm gonna run around in the grass.
Okay.
This place is just beautiful. I would love to look around.
Okay. All right. So the the knight, the black knight says, "Okay, well, let's head to the market. What do you say?" So tucked beneath the roots of a massive silverwood tree is the twilight lit glade, brimming with mushrooms, hovering crystal lanterns, and tents hewn from spider silk and leaf. Fey merchants drift in and out of sight, some with antlers, others wearing masks of emotion, joy and sorrow and rage. Okay, so underneath one of these trees, these massive trees, there is the knight guides you over this area where there's a bunch of different merchants and so forth. Okay. While you're there, you see. Go ahead and roll me vigilance checks. That'll be fun.
$13 for the standard.
Okay.
I got an 11 for Cisco.
Okay. On the 17 standard. Okay. So you guys see as you guys enter in, the Black Knight warns you guys, never think of Fae. Okay? And never eat fruit twice. Okay? Never eat the fruit twice. Okay? So you find say Brian, you come to a stall offering echoes of forgotten memories for trade. The rest of you also see, an imp-sized jester selling tears tears bottled from gods. So god tears that are like bottled. And with your 17 standard, you also notice a masked fae who recognizes you. He says, "John Peters, the verdant one, in progress." So if you want, you can barter for stuff, memories, dreams, names. I don't know if any of that stuff intrigues you or not. If you guys just want to be like, yeah, this is a little bit weird for me, you know.
So someone can offer names?
Oh yes, one of them says. One with wearing a mask that is very happy. Yes, I can sell you names.
Lee will ask this masked individual, I want to know who will train me to be the strongest fighter. So I can seek this person out and become the greatest fighter there ever was, and then do some karate moves.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, he said don't thank them and don't eat their food. He didn't say anything about trading them.
Okay. Gonna be interesting. A name. You ask me for a name. Oh, little flame. Names are bindings. Names are doors. Names are chains. His finger drums on the table, made of living roots. You notice the items displayed: a bottled screen, a cracked hourglass with falling stars inside of it, and a feather that seems to be made from shadow. You asked to become the most powerful. Very well. I will give you a name. But you will owe me one in kind.
Favor for a favor, that seems fair.
The Fae places a single acorn in your hand. It pulses with some sort of warp. This is your key. Whisper the name. Shin lends you into the flame, and he will find you.
Nice.
He is the storm and silence. He taught dragons how to coil. He drowned the last master he trained. Because he dared question. He will not like you, but he will teach you. And one day, I will come for the name you would have become, not change. As he grins.
So I have to come back to Avalon and do some kind of mission for you or something. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna give him a thumbs up because
So
I can't say thank you.
Alright, so you hold on to the acorn.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do the like the whispering stuff into it when we get back to the real world and stuff.
So there's your name. This is your name. But he said to speak into the flame.
Yin. That's what's
And you
up.
said they sell memories as well.
Oh. He does say, he smiles.
Is it possible we can get some of his memories?
The Fey merchant tilts their head, intrigued. Their eyes swirl with colors that don't exist in the waking world. You offer me a memory. How generous. They say with their voice soft, like silk dragging across the glass. They lift a silver bowl etched with vines. It is filled with still waters that reflects not your face, but flickers of your past. So when you look into the bowl's reflection, you don't see you just see your past.
Well,
But which one, little Ember? You cannot choose what is taken, but you can choose why. Tell me, what insight do you seek in return? So what do you want? The toll will be a memory for a memory.
huh. I will give you the memory of when I was captured by the military.
And what do you want?
Sorry, what was that?
He says, what memory? Oh, you offer this memory to me, he says. But you offer it freely? What memory do you possess? What knowledge do you want in exchange for your memory?
I would like the memories of Shen Lanzu. Or a memory. Whichever.
Okay. The Bay merchant's smile widened. It's not friendly. It's not cruel. It's curious. You wish to possess a memory that was never yours. A bold request. You tread along a fragile thread, little leaf. Memories are not truths. They are reflections. Distorted by time, ego, and pain. They lift up a shard of glass, black and smooth, and humming with energy. As they hold it in the light, it shows flashes of motion, of flames and of stillness, of a shadow dancing across mountaintops. Very well, you shall have one. They press the shard to your forehead. But remember, the memory is the price is yours. Sorry. Remember, the memory is his. The price is yours. Okay? So, this is your memory that you see. You see a wide swept mountain temple carved into the bones of a dragon fossil. Snow falls sideways. Bells ring in no pattern, but somehow feel deliberate. A young man, barely more than a boy, kneels in the courtyard. His knuckles are bloody, his chest bruised. His breath fogs in the cold air. Shen Lanzu stands above him, cloaked in red and gold, his head perfectly straight, a cup of tea unmoving in his hands despite the wind. He says nothing. The boy finally speaks. Master, when will I be ready? Shen Lanzu replies in a whisper, and it echoes like thunder. When you can no longer ask. The vision ends abruptly. The breath catches. Your body feels like it just took a blow you didn't see coming. Okay? So suddenly you feel like the wind being knocked out of you. Okay? And then suddenly you come back. So feel like you lost all your air, then suddenly filling your air again with. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this in your little deal. The Fae is still watching you, unblinking. You asked for the memory of a number. So you have given away something of yourself in return. You may one day find that when you look in the mirror, it stares back a little longer.
Thank you for the warning. I
Okay.
appreciate the warning.
So you still remember your origin, because your memory that you give away is not of your choice.
Okay.
So you kind of were hoping that memory would be gone, but it still resonates in your mind. Okay.
Okay. I got you now.
He did also say that you will lose your memory of something, right? You won't really know what it was. That's what he kind of meant. Why one day you might be looking in the mirror and see it staring back at you a little bit longer. Whatever, you know. You're just going to feel like something's a little bit off, okay? You may have some sort of deja vu or whatever moment or whatever, but you won't really know what it is that you're missing, what it was you forgot. But here's the thing: is where your memory and his are swapped. He has your memory now, and you have his. So he knows who you are as well. Now, that's fun.
Well, you don't know a whole lot about me. It's only one memory, but hopefully it ain't that massive.
Okay. So, anything else you guys want to explore, or this is the extent of it? You guys want to play around with your memories until you guys don't know who you are anymore? Ah, okay. So you want to talk to the person that had spoken to you. Um, the verdant one in progress, he called you. The whispering hallway is filled with drifting laughter and flickering lights. But one stall remains, still uncertainly so. A tent made from woven thorns and velvet shadows stands quiet at the edge of the glade. Its only occupant sits cross-legged atop a woven mat of moon-blessed roots. Hands folded, face hidden beneath a mask of half stone and half wood. John Peters approaches. The Fae lifts his head, not abruptly, but with intention, like the sun rising over the ancient battlefield. So slowly he raises his head as you approach. The mask is carved with a serene expression on one side and a weeping one on the other. The Fae doesn't speak right away. Instead, they breathe in slowly, deeply, like one savoring the scent of a blooming tree whose seeds were lost long ago. Then, with a voice like wind through the dry leaves, Urgent one, in progress. They lift their heads slightly, like a sculptor considering a statue unfinished. Your roots are shallow still, but the soil remembers your kind. The forests murmur your name, though not yet your shape. You have not knelt at the chapel, not truly. They reach into the folds of their thorn-wrapped cape and pull forth a seed, glowing faintly, pulsing in rhythm with your own heartbeat. Do you know what this is? He asks. I'm guessing it's connected to me due to the rhythm. This is your doubt. This is your death. This is your beginning. They place the seed in your palm. Plant it in a dream. Bury it in the rocks. Let it die, not grow. Says, the Red Lord does not burn forests, child. He convinces the trees to lay down. You stop. Do you stop as it calls to you as you grab the seed and turn to walk away, and he continues to talk? Do you stop, or you just like, all right, you old nut job, whatever? Stop. Fear the weight of the world, but you have not yet carried its corpse. He continues to say, when next you draw your blade, ask yourself, do you guard life or only mourn it? Is that blade of yours only made for killing? Indeed, he says, as you say, this blade is to defend. And he says, indeed. John closes his fingers around the growing seed. The light dims slightly in response to his will. The Fae watches in silence, then speaks, the tone shifting, whimsical, to something colder, older. My blade is not for conquest. It's not for vengeance. It's to defend. The Fae tilts his head again, the mask weeping, the mask's weeping side catching a ripple of the lantern light. To defend. A pause. And when the forests burn, which tree to shield? When two roots strangle each other for the sun, which do you feed? When the world splits and begs for a blade to choose, will you defend or will you divide? A blade is always a choice, verdant one. And choices carve deeper than steel. They extend a long finger toward your chest, hovering just over your heart. If you are to defend, then know this. You will not always be think. You will not always be right. You will always be seen by those who would end what you protect. All right. So, what do you think he's trying to tell you? Right. There's no real right or wrong, perhaps. Yeah. But maybe also that your powers aren't only just to destroy that which threatens. Okay. Just to separate the good from the bad. You know what I mean? Killing those that are wrong. Perhaps there's another way. He's basically asking, how do you choose who lives and who dies? It's a difficult choice to make, I suppose. But anyway, there's more things to explore. Uh, Probably there's no real right or wrong. Okay, so I get more creative and being a wise ruler. Okay, very good. Okay, so you guys want to continue to explore Avalon, or are you guys done with this little um, adventure? You've only just begun. You guys are all muted, by the way.
I'm down to do whatever. If the gang wants to hang out in Avalon for a little while, and if the Green Knight wants to do a little exploring and training here, this seems to be more his character's kind of wheelhouse. So if he
Yeah,
wants to,
I feel this is more on Cody because, like Damien says, it's more his wheelhouse. Me, I'm not good either way.
right? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff I can get into here. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
Okay. The Black Knight comes over to you, Cody, and it's like, don't listen to these Fae. They're all just gonna cloud your mind with doubt and whatever conjecture. They revel in that kind of stuff. You have to be stronger for it. Be vigilant. And anyway, so you guys, you said you want to go to the tower.
yeah,
well,
yeah. It sounds like a good idea.
I'm down.
So the trees part like respectable sentinels, revealing the towering heart of Avalon. Vines climb ancient stone like vines over a slumbering god. The soft green light filters through a cathedral of leaves above. The tower rises before you, not built but grown, arched and elegant like the ribcage of the world itself. Floating above, immense sky beasts drift between islands, suspended in clouds, their calls echoing like a whale song across time. It is no temple, no castle. It is the verdant spire. The original seat of the Green Chapel. Before it fell into legend. Okay. So, as you come to like the actual tower yourself, you find a door, and as you approach it, it seems to be breathing slowly. You guys walk up to it.
Yeah, I'm following the Green Knight.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, so when approached by John Peters, it opens slightly, vines retreating. You see the bunch of glyphs that seem to line the hallways as this door opens up. That they just glow faintly along the stone. Old Sylvan symbols, it may seem. We want to go ahead and try to figure out what maybe these symbols might mean. You guys want to roll me some logic checks?
Sure. I'll take a crack at it. Ooh. Only an 11, but it is fantastic.
Oh, nice. All right.
I got an 11 standard.
Okay. So, remembering the telepathic link that you had with the Green Knight, you hold to that as it looks, as he looks up into the symbols. Lee, okay, he seems to be able to recognize them, and also it resonates in your mind. Okay, one is life, the other burden, cycle, and oath. Okay. As the hallway continues, it comes to a staircase. A staircase that spirals up around a glowing heartwood. Okay. As they, you guys want to go up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you climb the spire, you hear echoes of past Green Knights speaking fragments of vows. At each landing, players see glimpses of alternate futures. Will John Peters become a hero, a tyrant, or a martyr? Other times he just becomes a tree.
A tree. I'm gonna point and giggle at him.
So you're seeing all these different fragmented, like, different aspects of the Green Knight where he, goes through these different, whatever. You get it, I think. All right, so you come to the top of the spiral staircase to a circular chamber filled with floating motes of light and a shallow pool of glowing green water. A single stone rests at its center. Uh, your steed in your hand begins to pull. John Peters. As you head to the center, the stone dais that rests in the center, a little notch in the stone seems to glow. Okay, seems to be glowing, resonating, and it's in the shape of the seed. You put the seed in. Very good. As you put the seed into the stone, the vines recoil around the area, and the air grows cold. The pool ripples, and a figure of bark and sorrow rises. The Green Knight before John twisted and half corrupted. He wears the same armor, but it's decayed. His voice is cracked and bitter. I swore to defend. I waited too long to act. The Red Lord does not wait. He draws his sword and points it at you, John Peters, seeming to arise from the stone that you placed. Dun, 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 dun. As we wait for John Peters to type his response, I'll draw my sword, keeping it low, state that the Red Lord has to be stopped before he will again. Okay, so, alright. So, I want you... Go ahead and roll me a... Why not just roll me a vigilance? Roll me a vigilance check. Okay. Very good. He lowers his sword. He says, "Do not repeat my mistake. You must act." So you're like, I've been acting this whole time. It's just that, my lead has gone cold. I have, for the moment. Okay. Um, he says, uh, he says you seek, um, you say your lead has gone cold. Um, you seek their root, but the bane is not a tree, it is a sickness. It grows in what is abandoned, what is forgotten, and what we refuse to grieve. He steps to the um, pool of light at the tower center. The waters darken. They do not wear symbols, he says. They do not chant in temples. They buy themselves inside others, feeding on sorrow, failure, and betrayal. Look not for their altars, look for their harvests. Where the land crumbles, but no one mourns. They are there. Where hope is outlawed. They are there. Where people burn their own dreams, for the fire reaches them. They are there. He kneels at the edge of the pool. With one finger he draws 3 magic sigils. A cracked sun, a closed eye, and a weeping crown. These are the places where the cult of the Bane gather in the flesh. Drop this. Ha ha! Okay, these are your leads. The City of Silent Bells, the Hollow. The City of Silent Bells, a once holy city where every bell tower has been sealed shut. No mourning is allowed. No prayers are spoken aloud. Their high priest is a mute child crowned in rust. But you got all kinds of. These will be things like I'll have to, flesh all this stuff out for you and stuff like that. But yeah, all just different avenues where you can, try to start attacking the Bane themselves. You will not find them by hunting. You will find them, realize they've already found you. Alright? His form begins to fade, vines curling around him, drawing him back into the tower, into the Heartwood. And when you do not fight them as a man. Fight them as a forest. And disappears. Alright. You kneel by the pool and meditate. Very good. So, that was fun. As, you meditate. Alright. So, this seed that you, it's still glowing in the stone that you placed it in. Okay. You reach out and you're like compelled to just like touch this thing again as you feel it just like calling to you, and you touch it, and as you do, you can feel like this watches this energy and feel it all like climbing up your arm, giving you like the tingles, whatever. As it goes up, climbs up your arm, you can feel like the promise of power, and it goes into your armor. All your armor kind of glows and then it dies down, and basically all your border of your armor just kind of glows in this green hue, and then disappears. So you're gonna get like a little tidbit, little something. I'll say, sure, why not? For you can do this for those of you, like, let's say you have like a link with someone, it can work through your link with them. But once per day, or essentially, whatever, once per, rest or whatever you do, and you can use this, okay, and gain a 3d6 plus your rank, okay, hit points back, okay, just like gives you a little bit of healing, okay, pulse, boom, that's basically a little tidbit you're gonna get from the seed, stuff like that. It's a little magical artifact, we'll say, the seed. Okay? We'll say that the seed, it then comes into like a knot in the middle of your chest. Almost like, and then glowing there, and it's like a seed, right? But then as it begins to materialize, it takes the form of an emerald. Right there in the center of your chest. Okay? So the seed turns into this emerald, and it's embedded in the center of your chest. So like once per day, you can like activate that thing, and boom, gives you a little healing jolt, whatever. Helps you to heal. You can use it to heal other people too. We'll say, but only once per day. We could continue exploring Avalon. Okay. It's 11 o'clock now. Do you guys want to continue on? Maybe explore another area? Or maybe pick up from here the next time we play? What do you guys want to do? I know Brian and Cody, you guys can sometimes be limited in how long you can actually play. So, just offering that. Do you guys want to continue playing for a little bit?
I think I might call it a night.
Yeah.
11 o'clock. Kind of my pumpkin hour.
Yeah, it's about 11. It's getting close to 11:30. I didn't want to just keep on dragging you guys through this stuff, but there is kind of plenty of stuff for you guys to do. We'll say go ahead and each session you guys go ahead and gain another little notch, so you guys get that again. With your stuff. That's basically essentially the rules for Marvel 616 doing the Academy stuff that we're doing. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I think the getting school rules are actually pretty neat.
yeah, and where are you guys on that whole map? You guys should be close to about the end of your rank 2, right?
I've got 3 left after this, I think.
How about that in 3 locations? Wow. Yeah, that's something. Okay. All right. So that'll be cool. So we'll get to try to knock out some of these little locations as we get into the end of this whole storyline for the Bane. Starting to develop into something. Going on the offensive finally. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, talk all night about this, that, and the other, but it has been fun. And of course, be kind to each other for everyone out there. We're all in this together. And I guess